Okay, good morning, everybody. Let's go ahead and get started. Hope everybody's having an awesome morning. Hopefully your trading's been going well. I'm looking forward to our trades today. It's going to be awesome. Let's pull up the disclaimer so we can quickly get into this real quick. Okay, so as a reminder, I just need to let you guys know about the risks involved in the Forex market. You can lose all or more than your initial investment if you're not careful. So make sure that you know how big your lot size is, how many pips you're risking on each trade, and ultimately how that would affect your account and your position if you were to lose money. So make sure that you're going through that process each and every time that you take a trade. Otherwise, you will get burnt at some point, and I just want to make sure that you're aware of that. Okay, awesome, guys. So I have already taken the position to short the euro franc. We've got a nice little position that was lining up this morning. We've got a break in the upper Bollinger Band. This screen right here just helps me. There's a lot of stuff going on here. This is my banker's close setup for London because it's got every possible currency pair that is eligible for the banker's close in London. And so it helps me scan to see if there's an opportunity, a break in the upper or lower Bollinger Band on a 5-minute chart. So now that I've selected my currency pair and we're ready to go, I've got several trades on down here, as you can see. But in addition to that, I do have, over in Alveo, I've got my positions as well. Had a little bit of a rough going with that USD franc yesterday, so I'm down 27 pips so far, booked and lost. But yeah, hopefully we can bring those back in this webinar. I imagine we will. But I just wanted to let you know beforehand, like where things are sitting that way. But yes, this has got the perfect setup that you're looking for, that break in the upper Bollinger. We're in the banker's close hour, and there's no news associated with this currency pair. So yes, we should find at some point a nice pullback later today. Could be right away, it could be later. It could be one of those things that we have to tango with. Either way, I'm excited. This is going to be an awesome trade opportunity. Yeah, I don't see any, like if you come out to a 15-minute, I'm looking for the most recent resistance. And just because there isn't resistance doesn't mean it can't break higher. Often I do see these break higher. Let's see, actually there is a little bit of resistance. There's a wick right there, but that's it on the hourly. So we'll see if it wants to retest that this morning before we close the London session. But yes, we'll be looking for a pullback that will match, that will come to the mid Bollinger Band. That's kind of what we'll be looking for. Let me see how we're doing over here. This is my FTMO account. I traded the Tokyo close last night, did really well. I made almost $1,000 in the Tokyo close. So hopefully we can do something similar to that today. $500 to $1,000 would be the goal in this account. If we're trading the London close or the Tokyo close, doesn't matter. I'm going to open my blinds real quick. One sec. It's the morning, got to see some light. So yeah, we had a little bit of a pullback, just barely. We'll see if it follows through or if the market wants to make another high today. If this market pulls back to that mid Bollinger Band quickly, we'll be in and out, done fast today, which could be pretty awesome. But Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. Yeah, that one's pulling back nicely too. I'm now up 60 pips on this trade. See, I'm up $340 now, $360 on this trade now. Yeah, looks good. And I didn't really see, I mean, this looks like the best trade to have taken too. The Euro franc. I'm looking at all these other options. Yeah, that was really the optimal trade to take based off of what I'm seeing here. And then let's take a look at the news real quick. I don't believe there was a lot of news this morning. Let's see. Yeah, there was just some US news really, and the next real big news events aren't even until Monday. Sunday's a holiday in New Zealand, so be aware of that if you want to trade the Tokyo close. But let me just check real quick. I don't think I see. We had unemployment change in Australia, not too significant from the expectation. So I believe that this isn't going to affect the market as much. But one of my things this morning is I didn't want to trade the Aussie, but that we're good on that. Oh wow, this is awesome. So I'm going to pull some of these profits real quick because we're already hitting that mid Bollinger Band on that Euro franc. So I'm going to go ahead and grab most of these. I'm going to leave 3 on, and then I need to run over here to FTMO and pull some of these off. Yeah, I'm up $500. Heck yeah. I'm going to pull a lot of these. I'm going to leave. I'm going to still leave several trades on. Maybe I'll just. No, I'm going to leave the rest. Okay, so I just booked about half of that profit. It's interesting to see the mid Bollinger Band on. It's just every setting is a little bit different, right? I'd like to see what the settings are over here, but I haven't quite hit my mid Bollinger Band on the Euro franc on my FTMO account, but with Alveo, I have pretty much. So I don't know. It's just kind of an interesting observation. But yeah, Rodney, I don't know if you saw, but we're shorting the Euro franc. It's a little late, but you know, there still might, especially here, you can see there's a little more to go, perhaps on the 5-minute on my FTMO, but we might look for another opportunity here in just a second. I was also just explaining that on here, I made a new template last night in MT4. One's for the London close and the other one's for the Tokyo close. This one's for the London close. So basically, every currency pair on here, there's a lot. These are all the eligible currencies that could be traded at the all of these are currencies that are eligible for the London close. And the 3 over here, these ones are a little bit bigger. These are our favorite ones. You know, these are the ones that are only Europe. So Euro franc, Euro pound, and pound franc. So I want to look at these first when I'm trading in the morning. If there's an opportunity to trade one of these, I'd probably go with one of these over one of these over here. Let's see, I'm going to just pull off maybe 2 more trades right there. And then I have another, like you can open up a profile. I made a profile for Tokyo. So I was trading the Tokyo close last night, and here they all come. These are all the currencies that are eligible to trade during the Tokyo close. And, you know, these are the top 3 over here on the right side. If there's an opportunity on one of these 3, at the Tokyo close, I would probably prefer to trade one of these three when I'm doing that Tokyo session one. But yeah. But anyway, let me switch back over to our London profile. Wow, this thing just continues to improve. This is awesome. I'm going to close one or two more. This is great. Close one more over here. Already a great day. This is awesome. I love how quickly that happened. I'll close one more of these. Also, Rodney, I was up late last night. I looked into my Forex funds. I don't know if you're familiar with those. I'm sure you are, right? Because you're quite familiar with FTMO. So you've got to know about my Forex funds. They're awesome. I was looking into them. They have a cheaper option for your funded account. Basically, they have lots of different programs you can or challenges you can do. They have way more options than FTMO. And then the other thing that I like about them is they're, because I'm trying out for the 200,000 FTMO, and my Forex funds has a similar challenge or program. It's almost the same, but it's $600 cheaper to go for it. And then it has less the requirements for like they're basically the same rules. You can't lose more than 5% in a day. You can't lose more than like that was 10% total of your account. Actually, I think it's 12% with my Forex funds, which is really generous. That's a way generous drawdown. And then let's see who else. Let's see what else I was going to say about it. Let's see. Let's see, I'm going to close one more trade. It just pumped a little bit lower. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, and the profit targets are not as big. So in step one, you only have to make 8% of your account instead of 10, like you do with FTMO. And then with, let's see, what was the other? And then in step two of the evaluation process, you have to make 5% of your account instead of 10 again, like FTMO requires. Yeah, I think they also give you more time too. One second, I'm going to close another trade here. We're almost done with this one. Let me close one more over here. That's right. So yeah, anyway, I was pretty excited about it. I'm going to close this last trade. This has been awesome. Okay. And I'll keep my eye out on here. Like this is really nice. This little dashboard I created last night, this profile, because this is literally designed just for the London close. So if we find another opportunity where something's breaking the upper Bollinger Band, we can just jump on that one really quick. This pound Aussie looks like it's the closest one to doing so right now. The thing is, though, I'm staying away from the Aussie because it had unemployment change just less than 2 hours ago or 12 hours ago. So I'm Aussie's off limits and the dollar's off limits this morning. Again, it'll probably work out just fine. That trade would probably be fine. But again, we want to stay pretty strict on that one rule, because if you stay strict to that one news rule, it gives you so many other options, the freedoms you get with your trade. I'm not saying you get to be careless with your trade, but you are pretty accurate. You're going to most likely, these are very accurate trades, these bankers close opportunities. And so, if you're following that one rule and avoiding news, you're most likely going to be successful with that trade. I really would like to say guaranteed, but I can't say guaranteed, but very likely I can say. So, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Rodney. It's okay. We're early. We got 45 minutes left, so we'll see if we can find another opportunity before we wrap up today. For sure. No, we'll get you some money today. We just have to be a little more patient now. It looks like there was a good opportunity at the beginning of the hour, but we'll find another one. But yeah, so back to what my conversation with you about my Forex funds. It looks awesome. I mean, I was looking at some of the, in fact, I think I still have it up here. Let me see. Do I have it? This is just a comparison between my Forex funds and FTMO. And there's a new company that just started this. My Forex fund's been around since 2020, so it's pretty new still. But there's another one called the Funded Trader or something like that. They just came out in July this year. And from what I could tell, it's similar pricing to my Forex funds and FTMO. But the other thing I really like and I'm excited about, I may do this one. They have so many options. It's crazy. Let's see, where did it go? They have the rapid evaluation and accelerated. Accelerated gets you a funded account today. I might do this. Actually, let's see. I want to find. Where they have the rules lined up. One second, I'm going to check this to see if there's any other opportunities. Not yet. Oh, this CAD Frank. Let's see. CAD Frank is breaking down right now. Let's go to that one. So this would be a buy opportunity, potentially. I'm going to close that last trade on the Euro Franc. Okay, so I gotta think quick. News on this? I don't remember any news. So the CPI from yesterday, that's kind of over now though. Okay, so CAD Franc could be an option to buy. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Start kind of light because it hasn't technically or quite punctured that upper Bollinger Band. So kind of start light on this trade. I'm going to go over to FTMO. I'll take the same trade in FTMO as well. CAD Franc, where it's a buy. Yeah, starting off slow and steady, and we'll work this trade. So it looks like it punched a little lower. The spread seems to be kind of wide on this. You can see there's kind of a gap between my entry and where the candlestick actually is. I don't think that's a big deal. I think it's just characteristic of that pair specifically. Let's see, and where did this start the hour? Started right here. So this technically hasn't even had a banker's close opportunity yet. Okay. Oh, great. Well, I'll let that sit and do its thing. Yeah, and I don't see, let me look to see these other pairs. I don't really see any other pairs with an opportunity. That's the closest thing to a setup right now after scanning this. I think the pound Kiwi was pretty close, maybe like 10 minutes ago. But that one's over. I mean, it's too late to get into that one. So I think this CAD Franc makes the most sense. All right. Okay, well, I'll let that sit for a second. Let me just put, no, I won't do it. I was going to put some pending orders in, but I'll buy a little bit more. Yeah, spread's kind of wide on this. And I think we're early to this. This is good. Though obviously, if we can find a trade opportunity towards the beginning of the hour, I would say that's probably the better opportunity, just because that gives us more time to actively manage it and get what we're looking for. Oh, so you did go with my Forex fund, and you got the funded account. Yeah, 5% kind of stinks. But let me ask you this. They have those phases that you can move up. And I was interested in the, here, I'm gonna buy just one more trade. I was interested in the, I really liked, if I can find it real quick. Here, I'm gonna just pull this over here while I'm watching the trade. I'm gonna pull this to my other screen while I look for it. Oh yeah, this is it. Yeah, so basically I was thinking about doing either this conventional one right here at 50,000 to start, or the emphatic to start with 50,000. And then it looks like as long as you, with the conventional, you have to make a 10% return. And then you're eligible just as quickly or however long it takes you to do it, which is nice because you don't feel pressured to hit it by a certain time. It's just more your personal goal and what you're comfortable with, which I like, rather than being like, oh my gosh, I have to make all this money. Like I'm doing a little catch up right now with my FTMO account. Like, it's great. Like this morning, I've already made, like between the Tokyo session and this session, I've made nearly $2,000, but it's not enough. Like it's just crazy how much they're asking you to make. I mean, you wouldn't make that anywhere else. It's just crazy. It's a lot of money to make with some tight circumstances. So I like this. But yeah, 50,000. Did you do one of these accelerated? Did you do conventional or emphatic, or did you do like the evaluation process? Because they have so many programs you can go through. But I'm debating currently, oh, it's a different prop firm. Oh, cool. Well, let me know what it is, because I'm in that mode right now of selecting a prop firm to trade for. But like conventional or emphatic, I was thinking of doing. I'm thinking conventional. It's way cheaper. I trust myself to not have a big drawdown. I think I can do that. Plus, I'd like the opportunity to get higher phases of funding. So like if you get up here to the, 1 second, I'm checking this trade. Okay, I want to buy just one or two more trades. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Perfect. All right, so like between the 50% profit splits, but my thought is, hey, look, if I were in 6 months or even a year, if it took me to get to phase 6, that's $1.35 million at a 50% profit split. That's worth it, because you can't do that with FTMO. FTMO like stops at that 200K. And that's kind of, you either get it or you don't. Whereas here you can start making money right away, and then has a similar drawdown requirement, and then you can take your time to get those profits, which is awesome. Really, 20K that goes to 80K at first milestone. The 5 ERS. That's awesome. Okay, I'm copying your link there. Put this in there. Let me see it. 6% is not a huge amount to make. That's really awesome. Do they have a time limit on how long? Do you have to make that 6% by a certain time, like some of these other places, or can you kind of? Oh my gosh, 180 days. That's the most generous. That's crazy. The 5%ers. That's awesome. Instant funding for traders. What's their profit split on these? Is it also 50-50? I'm just gonna check our trade. Okay, cool. It's pulling up a little. All right. Some of them start higher. Okay, let's see. It's kind of hard to read. So you can go up to 4 million. Okay, their leverage is way different. That's okay though. So my Forex funds and FTMO allow up to 100 to 1 leverage. Okay, so instant funding. Okay. I'll have to come back and look at this. It's a little confusing to me, but I think I get it. There's aggressive, low risk. Okay, and they have a boot camp. Instead of just getting funded right away, they have a boot camp. Okay, that's awesome. I like it. Yeah, I'll look into that. This is really awesome. Like I like so it looks like they give you part of the account as instant funding, and then profit. So it looks like they give you kind of a generous drawdown from what I'm seeing. Seems like a pretty generous drawdown if I'm reading that correctly. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to add one more trade here. Yeah, that's awesome stuff. I'll have to look into that one a little bit more when we're not trading. Because yeah, I'm just looking for a really good place to start out. Oh, only 4%. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, that is a little tight. A little bit tight. This guy is going to need to find some support at some point. That spread is wide, dang, on this. That's okay, but so let's draw out some of these levels. So this would be obviously right here is a substantial level to find some support. And then there's a little bit of something right there. And then let's see, right here would be the next level. Below that, right there. So yeah, I imagine we'll probably get a pull up from one of these levels. We'll just have to work until we get it. And yeah, that spread is wide on this pair. Geesh. Because I just barely entered these trades, and that's the price I got. So can't really get much lower than that. Yeah, I might like, I mean, I don't like to take big drawdowns either. I like the 5% daily. I think that's almost industry standard at this point, is a 5% daily drawdown. Even the apiary fund does that, which is really awesome. And then yeah, to have a 10%, 10, or actually my Forex funds does 12%, a 12% total drawdown. That's awesome. I mean, I think at that point you're doing something wrong if you're losing 12% of your account like that quickly. I think that's like, hey, what's going on, right? Oh, nice. 0.5, and you pay a small commission. That's awesome. Seriously, so cool. Yeah, I'm gonna do probably today. I imagine I'll be looking up YouTube videos explaining FTMO versus my Forex fund and 5%ers. But to be honest, I think for me, I know FTMO has been around for like a decade. No, they've been around since 2015. Well, I guess nearly a decade. But I would say, yeah, the 5%ers or my Forex fund seems better than even FTMO. It's cheaper and more loose requirements. In a lot of these cases, it looks like you can go at your own pace rather than trying to make that full 10% in a month. I love the fact that you can, like, hey, if you want to make, target 5% in a month, which is a good return, and it's not going to break your back to make 5% in a month. That's huge. That's huge to be able to say, hey, look, I'm not going to take risks unnecessary, because I can just see that with FTMO. Like, I could totally see how quickly you could feel like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling it right now. Like, hey, I got to make this money so much faster. But then that causes you to take some risks that maybe you wouldn't normally take. And so now you're breaking rules and things like that too. So yeah, I'm glad you agree with that, because like I'm definitely seeing the value of some of these other places, and they're cheaper. So but yeah, I really think I ought to do like an instant funding option on one that has a track. My Forex fund starts you off with 50K, but I'd like a track to be able to go to, a million plus account. That's the type of account that I feel like I could be trading for sure. But yeah, in the past, I've always rounded up capital in a couple of ways. I've traded, obviously, my funded account with the apiary fund, but it's not a lot of money. And then the other way I've always been able to trade, as I've literally, I've either saved up the money to just trade, or in some cases I've borrowed the money. Like, I have good credit and stuff, and I'd borrow the money to trade. And sometimes that's how you start, right? Like, I've talked to several traders, and they've, a lot of people, it's crazy what some people do to get started. But I think when you have the option with such generous rules, to be able to trade somebody else's money, you might as well do that. Got to do what you got to do. That's right. Right. Got to make some sacrifices sometimes. All right, so this trade is holding at the moment at this support level. Again, I've drawn out the lines. It's very possible we could get lows down to this next level, or a couple of these lows down here. So we just want to be mindful of that this trade could, we may need to tango with the market to these lows if required. So again, be mindful of how big your position is going into that. It may not, who knows? Maybe it just says, hey, this is great. We're going to jump up from here and we're going to move higher. Maybe so, but we'll see. So at this current level, I'm good with the position that I've built, but if it breaks lower, we need to continue to build that, right? But it's kind of early at this support, so we'll see what it wants to do. It's in the past, it's come down here and it's made those highs. Actually, this one barely touched this low right here. And then after it did so, that's when it came back up. That's all we're asking for. That's all we're asking. It's a good time of the day. Good time of the day to ask for it. I mean, the bankers close, London close opportunity. I mean, that's when you would expect this to work. Fortunately, I haven't paid FTMO anything yet. I'm just on their free trial for the 200K. So all of this money that you see here in this account, this is their account for the 200K, but it is I'm still on their free trial. So I think I think I still probably will. I think I'll probably just switch over to my Forex funds or the 5%ers. I'll just have to do some research in between. Does my 5%ers do a free trial as well? Or is it just, hey, you got to go? And also follow up to that, do they use MT4? What platforms are you able to use with the 5%ers? MT5. Okay. Yeah, I haven't used MT5 before. Might have to get used to it. I didn't trade up until recently. I've always just traded on internet platforms, desktop platforms, but I've never used MT5. Well, one second, I'm going to add a trade or two to this. I think one with that little move right there is fine. Just one trade. Okay. Yeah, what was I going to say about that? Yeah, I don't really ever use MT4 But since I've been forced to kind of use it, I, I actually really like all the things you can do to your setup. Like I make profiles for different things. Like literally I come in here at night to do the Tokyo session close, and I literally just pull up a profile, boom, I'm ready to trade. You know, here I am in the London close. I put up my profile that allows me to trade really well. The London, boom, here it is. And there's so many different things you can change. I don't even need a watch list now because technically this is my watch list. You know, we're able to monitor and make sure we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. Actually, while we're here, I just want to take the chance um, to see if anything else would be lining up, not necessarily to trade, but I was just curious. Not really. I would say what we're in is probably the best trade still from what I'm seeing here. The franc yen short would be a good opportunity, but that's the duplicate trade. If you're trading the franc yen short, it's the same thing as buying the CAD franc. I mean, not apples to apples, but you've got that franc association. Since we're on the quote side, we're looking for that move up. If you're on um the what's it called? Quote versus, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting today. Sorry, I was up late trading, right? But the base versus the quote. So the base currency over here is the franc. And so a short on this would be equivalent to buying on the CAD franc over here. So I'm going to buy one more trade there. And yeah, it looks like it's come a little lower. I'm going to buy another. Geez, that spread is wide on this pair. It's so wide. That's fine. We'll make it work. Oh, switching to MT5. So it wasn't a problem for you then. Yeah, I mean, I'm still new to the MT4 side, so maybe if I quickly go to MT5, not a big deal. Spread is so incredibly wide. Like at this hour, I'm just like, why are we doing this? Why is that spread so wide at this hour? Okay, so we'll see if it does a touch and go on this line, but this is the next level to get to. It's right there. Okay, I'm gonna grab, looks like it just broke a little lower, grab another. Sheesh, that spread is just unreal. I know I've said that probably 12 times by now, but it's just crazy to me that I just barely entered a trade and that's the spot I got. That is the spot. So I'm a little bit nervous too because I think I'm adding to the position, thinking, oh, it's time to add because it's gone a little lower, but in reality, I've already added. So probably need to hold off just a little bit and let this market figure out what it wants to do here. But yeah, if we touch that line, I'll go ahead and add another trade. Okay, so we just hit that. Buy one more there. See, that looks a little better. But still. Oh, let me go grab a trade here. There we go. And yeah, if it wants to break through and continue lower, there's really not a ton of support until you get to about, I would say about there is the next level. And then after that, it's basically to here. Yeah, no, that's a good comment. Yeah, and plus they won't fund you, Awanda or forex.com. I would say Awanda is probably the bigger culprit to it. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's pittance, right? They're about the same. And yeah, it's your own money you're putting on the line. Okay, I'm gonna grab another trade there. This one we're probably gonna have to swing, unfortunately. It's not doing what we want, like as quickly as the Euro franc did. Jeez, and I just entered and it just put me at the same spot, basically. Ah, that is crazy. But yeah, it looks like we're going to this next level, and that's fine. Yeah, and we are in that banker's close. So I mean, at some point you'd think the bankers would come to aid this, and they probably will. It's just one of those things where you may have to wait. You may have to wait a couple of hours for it to play out. But I mean, I've seen these types of trades before. You and I have seen this. Like I've seen these things basically do a long squeeze. Like this thing may just continue to plummet, and then below where you'd least expect it to break up, that's where it'll break up, you know. So it might actually break through some of these lines, you know, come down here and then, you know, get what you want. But it might just do something like that. But yeah, I hate it when that happens, but you know, such is life, right? Fortunately, we didn't have a huge position to begin with. It was just a small starter, so I think we'll be fine. But So Rodney, tell me more about the order flow. Is that from what's his guy, that one guy, Narav? What's his name? There's a guy, he just specializes in Forex or order flow. He used to work for Barclays for like a decade or something, and now he's just a full-time Forex trader. I don't know if that's where you're getting it from, or if you've got your own resource, but that's another thing I've been trying or been wanting to incorporate into my trading is the order flow concept. Awanda has one for free, but I don't know how to use it, and I don't even know if it's worthwhile. You kind of sometimes you kind of wonder like how accurate some of those retail trading brokerage tools are, and if they're even designed to help you. I don't think so, but maybe who knows. Oh, cool. Just what's on MT5. That's awesome. Yeah, this market was just trimming the fat today. It's been up a lot, right? And I think it was just trimming that fat. Now you'd think that you're probably right. A comeback would be merited at some point because, you know, that's quite a lot of fat to trim on this. Let's see what I was going to say about this. So we're at a pause in the break lower right here. Let's see what it does. But again, this is one of those types of trades we'll probably just have to swing. And then actually maybe what we'll do is start to put together our position for closing today. So here's what we want to do. So with the targets, what I'm going to do is put most of these basically at the break even. So on the worst trade. So the worst trade will make nothing, right? But this is a good area. I know it's above the mid Bollinger Band. In my experience, when I have to swing these, I will usually get a move back to wherever the signal started. So that's why I want to put these targets right in there, and that'll get our money back plus a nice return. So that's where I'm going to put pretty much all of these. And then we'll move that stop loss up. I'll show you how we do that when we're swinging a trade. This way you can still do what you need to do the rest of the day and not sit at the computer. I have a habit of doing that. I often just kind of sit there and just look at my trades, but it's super unproductive. And if you've done your due diligence, then I think you should be fine and good to go. Awesome. Okay, so, and with the stop loss, what I do is I go to maytaf.net, right? And I go find out, okay, I'm trading. Actually, I can just click on it right here. I've got it bookmarked. Just go to the CAD yen or CAD franc, excuse me, and then click on it, find out what today's volatility is for that pair on that day of the week, average over the last 10 weeks. So it's higher for Thursday, right? So it's 71 pips. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I mean, it should be just what, 35 or 36. So 71.4 divided by 2. So it's 36 pips. So we want to have a stop loss of 36 going into this. And I'm just going to do it from the current price of the market. So this would be kind of my fight. It's a big stop loss, yes, but I also like to have that flexibility because this is a highly accurate trade. But I want to give the market kind of a playground to work within. So, And this would be my final stop out. This is the, hey, this has gone way too far and too long. Go ahead and take our loss there. So just a half a daily range is what you're looking at. All right, that looks good to me. All right, and I'm going to add another trade. There we go. All right, perfect. Yeah, that big engulfing candlestick would be nice. I'd say it's coming. It's got to be coming. I don't know how you can ask the market to bust through all these levels when this has been, this has been the standard for so long, to have a bull run like this. So you'd think these are the levels where it could go, but I feel like in my experience, a lot of the times where you think it's going to stop, it'll go down to the next support level. So, I mean, I'm trying to think, where would that be? There's a little bit of support right there, but this is kind of the next support right through here. So yeah, so some buys through here, I feel like would be where you're going to get, if the market came down, it's right here where you'd want to really just get that position big at that point. Because what you can do with a lot of these trades is if you're in trouble, we're not really in trouble. We're just in a, dang it, we're not going to close in this hour. But what I like to do is, find those areas where it's likely to, I've just noticed in the past that it'll come just below support, where you think support's going to be, and that's where it forms, and then it goes up from there. So, if it wants to come down, if it comes to here, we can add quite a few trades right in here. And then if it comes back up even to here, you've got your money back. You can even break even on the trade if you just want to clock out, even right there. So you take losses on these guys up here, but your profits are pretty big on these ones down here. And then you can just kind of settle with the market and you're done, right? And that's what we do every day. But that would be my kind of plan to get out of this trade if I needed to go that way. Now, it's also possible we get that move you're talking about. Let's go to a 1 minute chart. It's possible these candlesticks start to say, hey, you know what, we're going to go up now. That's also a possibility, so. Well, I think I'm probably going to wrap up with that. You've got your stop losses in, you've got your targets in. I've shown you some different levels where I think the market could go again, but now we just let it sit, and I'll update you on Telegram, later today on what we're doing, what's happened. But again, thank you so much for those recommendations on the 5%ers. I think that could definitely be, that's what I'm looking for right now. Is I'm looking for a prop firm to trade for, and I'm thinking instant funding sounds awesome to me, with the possibility of really expanding that over time. That's kind of what I like. So, all right. Well, appreciate your chance. Thanks for coming, and we'll catch you tomorrow.